indication when you first came into the live, go ahead and share that whoever you feel like would want to join a conversation like this. YouTube, do the same thing. Click the link, share it with people. But let's talk about the UK trials real quick. You guys are familiar with Louis Hinchcliffe. Won the NCAAs in the 100 this year. I'm not sure where he's from exactly. Can someone put in the chat where he's from? I'm a bit confused. I think a lot of people are a bit confused about where he's from. Not that it matters, but I mean, he's got a unique look. You know what I'm saying? Kind of like when Tiger Woods came into golf. It was a mystery. He doesn't look like the rest of the golfers. So where is he from? I'd like to know. But anyways, he went and won the British Championships. It was some pretty bad weather. What did he run? He ran I think he won with a 10. I'm horrible right now. I know he ran 10:22 in the heats. I think in the finals he touched 10:1. But yeah, he beat some really good sprinters. He beat Jeremiah Azu. Zarnell Hughes didn't run because he's apparently injured, so he used his bye as they have one discretionary pick. CJ Uja came third. I don't think he's going to get a chance to run though, because Zarna has that other spot. But Reese Prescott, he beat some fast people. Eugene Ebodadzi, but I feel like Louis has given Carl Lewis, he's given him a coaching badge. I feel like because of how well Louis has ran, Carl's been able to, raise his chest up a little bit because he's got someone on the map. You could say that he's got an NCAA champion. You say he's got a UK champion. I think Louis could make the finals. Let me give you a little bit of background on Louis, though. Louis actually went to Washington State. Washington State is my university that I went to school in the NCAA. Louis broke my collegiate record. It was 10:18, and he's from the Philippines, by the way. Respect, Chad. Big you up. So it is. Louis broke my school record. So we've been in communication a little bit because of that. I congratulated him and everything, and records are meant to be broken, and it's whatever. But Louis would be able to understand and explain how difficult it is to run fast in Pullman, Washington. It's really cold. And really like a track and field culture. So if you're able to be amongst one of the best people in the sprints in the country, it's a pretty big deal if you can do it from there. So I think the biggest issues that he had when he was there was just that he was always going to be held back a little bit because of the weather. People used to talk to me about that all the time. Man, you need to get down in the heat, man. Get down in the heat. Didn't work out that way. That's another story for another day. But Louis ended up going, went through the portal and went to Houston, already running 10:1 low. I believe my school record was 10:17. I think he ran 10:15 or something like that. So Carl got a pretty hot prospect already, running 10:15 into Palouse. You get him in shape and get him down in some heat. Yeah, he's gonna run fast. So he did. Personally, I think Carl has more to prove as a coach. I'm not sure if I'm ready to chalk him up as one of the best college coaches in the world, based off of what he's done with Louis. Louis done his thing. He was already doing his thing, and I've seen a lot of things with Carl. Carl's pretty critical, so I'm sure he's open to criticism. I'm not even criticizing. All I'm saying is myself. If I was to view how people are saying that Carl gets his coaching badge already, I wouldn't say that yet. Because in reality, shoot, John Maso and Gagne went to Houston already running 10:0. and Sean hasn't. Some would argue that Sean hasn't gotten any better, or barely improved. So I mean, I'm going to say it. In my opinion, Louis had already had some talent, and Carl, he did what he did to get that talent moving in the right direction. But as far as me being able to say that Carl knows what he's doing, you go to Houston, he'll get you right. I think we need some more proof. That's not a knock. It's just what my view on it seems different than most people because everybody feels like Carl has arrived as a coach. I still think it's too early to say that. I think he needs some other athletes to be able to prove that. But Louis could potentially be a finalist, a medalist. Big of the one named Lyles. Yo, Lyles, you out in Manchester? You guys would want pristine, high quality track and field content. You've got to be following Lyles Till, as well as I also saw just a second ago. Where'd he go? I lost him. But Lyles got some premium content, yo. You need to get up on that. But let me know if you're out there. Oh, you're in Jamaica. Are you at the trials right now? Yo, is the day done at the trials there? Lyles, you gotta jump on live with me one day, yo. So yeah, that's how I'm feeling about the whole Louis Hinchcliffe situation. He can end up getting on the podium. Zarnell Hughes didn't run. I think it was a good idea he didn't run. He's not 100%. And the way Louis was looking today, if Zarnell Hughes wasn't 100%, he wasn't going to beat Louis. Louis doesn't really seem intimidated, yo. I mean, he looks like it's weird because he wasn't even in the picture last year, and for him to just come in the picture now, just beat all them mans. Those are fast sprinters he beat. I was impressed. He did it like nothing. Bad weather and all. All right. Yo, Doc. Let me know if you're still in here, Doc. Just say a what up, and I may have to add you again because I would love to talk to you about some of these 200s. Matter of fact, let me just do this anyways. Because I know Darvis, you know what I'm saying, would have been paying close attention to those 200s. CJ Uja, Becky Starr is asking. Oh, let me open up this chat. Hold up. Since we're on the UK topic, CJ Uja is back on the relay team. It looks like he will be because he came third. He looks pretty fast. Pretty fast, to be honest. If the weather was better, I think the time would have been better. He still didn't have the standard for the 100. He would have had to run 10 flat to get the automatic standard. He may have been able to get into the top 50. I don't know if the UK would still accept him to go, but they weren't going to take him over Zarnell anyways. Zarnell got his spot because, he medaled last year. So I think you're in that spot. Send this to Doc. Okay. Might get him to join and chop it up. Okay. So, yeah, the women's 200, man. Like I said, I'm going to break down the prediction picks that me and Trayvon had earlier. I had Sha'Carri making the team. I had her coming in third. But, yeah, she came fourth, man. She came fourth. Big up Brittany Brown, yo. I like her, I seen her do some interviews, and she got a pretty good personality. You know what I'm saying? She got a big, bright smile. She's not afraid of the camera. Cup of tea. I don't mind her making it. I had Mackenzie coming second. I had Gabby winning, but Mackenzie came third, very close third, and Brittany came up with second. I think that's big. for her to do that at the U.S. trials, because a lot of people may not even know who she is. She's always put some numbers up, and even this season, she's been putting numbers up. But um, once you make the Olympic team, the U.S. Olympic team, that's prestigious. So that's gonna be a big deal. I don't know if y'all are watching the NBC feed for the U.S. trials. Excuse me, but they're getting some gear to go to the games. The gear is clean, and not only that, they got some fat rings to be on the Olympic team. That's look at, man, you make the U.S. team, you that's a big deal in itself. A lot of them are going to go to Paris and probably not medal, but I mean, it ain't, the medalists aren't the only good people in the world, and the U.S. team is going to have a lot of potential medal threats. There's a lot of medal threats. To make that team is serious, So, I think this is good for her. Sha'Carri, I don't even know if she'd be upset. She came fourth. But I was talking about this last night, man. I never seen Sha'Carri as like a 100, 200 threat. She's amazing in the 100, and she runs a very good 200. I could never see her going to the championships and winning the double, based off of what I've seen so far. Not because she doesn't have the ability, but the rounds. I don't know if she has the capabilities of running all the rounds of the 100 and then running all the rounds of the 200 and still ending up on the top of the podium. She doesn't seem to have the muscle type for that. She's a very powerful, quick sprinter. She's not the 200 type. She's good in the 200 because she's fast, but not because she's necessarily a runner that likes to run for a long time, an enduring runner. I never got that from her, So I expect her to be on. Well, she might have gone. No, I didn't expect her to be on the podium if she made the team. I thought she'd get third at the U.S. Championships and get to go, get to compete, get in the final. We get to see her a little bit more, but she wasn't going to win the 200 anyways. I'm not saying that you only go if you're going to win, but I feel like someone at her level, a win is always expected. Gabby Thomas is 6-0 against Sha'Carri in the 200. That is mad. But Gabby's a 200-meter runner. Really, Gabby should be doing the 2 and the 4. I don't even know why Gabby even messes with the 100 anymore. She should be doing the 100 for fitness and then do the 2 and the 4. She'd be lethal in the 4. And she can run 48 in the 4. She's tall enough. She's obviously fast enough. I don't know if she's ready to put the work in, but it's hard, Big of the one named Trayvon. Trey, I'm about to go through our picks in a second, but from what I've gathered, my picks were a lot better than yours. Just saying. But Trayvon was right about Sha'Carri not making that 200 squad, though. I thought that was crazy to say that, but he was right, I don't know about the Abby pick, but he's right about Sha'Carri not being in the top 3. I don't think she's upset, though. I don't think she's upset. And Gabby, right now, she looks like she could win the gold. All my Jamaican viewers or anybody paying attention to Jamaican results, let me know what the 200 results were like today for the women. I believe they ran today. Let me make sure, though. No, they definitely ran today. But let me see if she put up any numbers. Women's 200, no, men 200. Oh, no, they're running tomorrow. No, they're running today. Prelims. Okay, she ran 22:67 in the prelims. And I believe the finals are tomorrow. I'm not sure how she ran it, but we will see. My phone blowing up, man. My phone blowing up all night, yo. I can barely sleep because of that. So, yeah, Gabby has a shot. To me, Gabby has a shot. That would be a great comeback story because 2021, she got the bronze. 2022, she was injured. 2023, she slowly started to come back. And then now, 2024, for her to win the gold, that'd be big. I got a funny story about Gabby. I might as well tell it. I got time. During 2021, my wife, she does the majority of the tweeting from um, Unconventional Voices of Track and Field on Twitter. Very, very good tweeter. Very funny. Very controversial. Didn't really hold back, even on her Twitter. But she goes in on Unconventional because it's all track and field. She tweets about all kinds of stuff from her own account, but track and field stuff, all on Unconventional. So during the rounds, Gabby had a pretty bad semi, right? So she basically said, I'm paraphrasing, I don't remember the exact same words, but she was like, yo, Gabby looked horrible, right? Trayvon, you didn't just say, can you say sweep the sprints at the Olympics? What is it with these Americans, yo? They always got some outlandish shit to say, yo. Are you out of your mind? Anyways, Jade had said, that Gabby looked horrible. Yo. In the middle of the championships, so between the semis and to the finals, right? Why did Gabby message? Actually, no, she didn't even do it from an Unconventional. She did it from her personal account, actually. She messaged Jade directly and was like, you don't have to tag me in these posts, something along those lines, right? Yo, for one, how are you even checking your Twitter during the championships? And for two, why even respond, yo? You didn't look good in the semi. So what? So Jade basically said that, right? And she was tagged just so people could know who she is. It's not for you to be seeing the hate. It's for people to know who you are. No one's going to think you're checking your Twitter in the middle of a championships. Ain't no one trying to really fuck up a person's mind frame when they're in the middle of championships. But you tag someone in a tweet so that people around know who the person is. Obviously, people would want people to know who you are. So anyways, she messaged saying you didn't have to tag me or something like that. Then she went into the final, right? Ended up getting a bronze, right? Yo, after the bronze, she messaged Jade back with like some laughing faces. Yo, man, I get it. These athletes are wired, and they're battling with nerves, and it's a tough situation to be in. But I think it's important for track and field athletes to start rising above the criticism that they get online and that they get on Twitter. This all athletes, and this is a long time ago. This is 2021. I don't even know if Gabby has this type of mind frame anymore. She might look back at that scenario and laugh about it. Like, oh my gosh, that was ridiculous. But it's a good example that, yo, at the end of the day, you're not going to win all the time, right? People are going to have to talk about that. You can't be taking it personally, like the fans and you are on the same level. It's not that. Like, you have to understand that this dialogue happens. As far as like even dealing with the fact that people are talking, because people are going to talk, especially if you want the sport to grow. Second of all, the whole ha stuff afterwards, Yeah, you could do it if you want, but what does that say about you? Why, the reality is, it's below you to be doing the ha ha stuff. And another thing is, you're not going to win forever. So that ha ha will come back eventually if that person saw it fit to do that. Jay's intention isn't to fuck with athletes' heads because she used to be an athlete, so she gets it. But in general, it was really funny. We found it hilarious that the messaging was happening during the championships. Like, yo, compete, yo. Tilly Cotton says they are human. You can't talk bad about someone and not expect them to reply, whether you feel like it's good criticism. Taiki Houghton, let me post that. I'll read that out loud. They are human. You can't talk bad about someone and not expect them to reply, whether you feel it's good criticisms. Respect for the comment, Taiki Houghton. Am I pronouncing it right? But the comment is ridiculous. No one's talking bad. If you say what you see, that's not talking bad. If the person didn't run well and I say they didn't run well, that's not talking bad. That doesn't require a response. It doesn't require a ha ha if you do run good afterwards. You ran bad. Just like if you ran good, the person said you ran good. I try to defend the athletes as much as I can against people who are really go in when they critique people. But it's really difficult because there are times where the skin is a little bit too thin. Some people do go too far, but some people don't. And it's like it doesn't matter if it's not that deep. A lot of track athletes are still getting flustered over some foolishness, yo. Like if you ran bad, people can say you ran bad. And that's the only way people are going to want to watch. No one wants to watch a sport where they can't say shit about nobody except for, hey, that was great. And if you didn't run well, you tried your best. Who the fuck, where's the, you gotta understand, like track and field, it's not even a dangerous sport. The element of danger is usually what raises the mystique of most sports. Track and field doesn't have that, aside from the pressure and the how much it means to win and to lose, and the everything you get with the glory, and then everything you lose with the failure. That's what makes track and field like, holy shit, like, wow, I need to see this. If you can't express yourself during the good and the bad from a fan standpoint, and if it's not amplified in that way, you got a shit sport. I don't want track and field to be viewed as a shit sport. Yo, man, if you're in the game, you got to understand the game. People can take it too far, I get it, but people need to be able to critique in some way without people getting all butthurt about it, yo. It's like, what is expected here? Damn. Trayvon, who's your picks for the 100-meter of the Olympics? Yo, Trey. Look it, man. If you wanted to talk about that, we can talk about that. Matter of fact, hold on a second. Let me do something real quick. But all that being said, that was a little story time. I do feel like Gabby has a shot to win the Olympics in the 200 meters. And be a great story. Be a great story. No more ha-has in the DMs, hopefully. Rise above. Track athletes, rise above. Even though with social media, everyone can kind of be touched, you don't have to touch back. Rise above. You want to be in the lane with the NBA and Major League Baseball and NFL. They're not doing that. They're not. Okay. The men's 200. Oh, and big up Mackenzie Long. I had her come in second. She came third, but either way, she made a team. And I really like how she runs, man. Like running form wise, she's the cleanest. I like how she runs better than everybody. whether it's Gabby, whether it's Brittany, whether it's even Sha'Carri. I like I like how clean she looks when she runs. Sha'Carri's form looks a little bit different when she runs the two. She got her arms in really tight and a bit more robotic. Mackenzie's the exact same running formula. Clean, clean, clean. I like it, man. Very sharp. Matasanova, you got some Africans in the mix plus an Italian. I do. Oh, just so y'all know, I'm gonna have Joseph Fambule on the live this upcoming week. We're gonna finalize the day, but we're gonna talk about the African Championships with Joseph Fambule. So just keep that in mind. If you haven't hit that subscribe button or that follow button or any notification buttons to know when I'm going live or when I'm doing my thing, you're tripping, but go ahead and do that now. Anyone new to the chat, hit that subscribe button. And share the live. If y'all just got here, share the live. Share the live. All right, let's talk about this men's 200 at the U.S. trials. Noah won. No surprises there for me. And Trayvon had him in his top three, but he had Kenny winning. Kenny put up a good fight. I think that Kenny really believed, but Kenny went out a little too hard in the turn. Through Kenny's rounds, Kenny Bednarik, I'm talking about, from USA, for those who don't know. Kenny was through his rounds, he really didn't run hard. I don't even know if he even tapped in, which, I mean, he may have been, coming off the 100 rounds, just may have wanted to be conservative. You run that many rounds and then have 3 rounds of the 200, you got to be conservative. You have to, because it's a lot of running. In the final, he ran that turn way harder. And yes, he got out in front, but he didn't have the finish to hold off Noah. The person that's going to beat Noah is going to have something in the home straight. You're not gonna get out ahead of him and then break down and beat him. You're gonna have to be with him or ahead of him, and have the ability to either move at the same speed that he does, or be out far enough and be close enough to his maintenance to be able to hold him off. Kenny has the tools for that, but he didn't have that here at the U.S. trials. Now, I understand Kenny wanted to make both teams, and he has done that. Very successful championships for him. Noah is much harder to beat in the 200 than he is in the 100. Third place went to Arian. I'm only surprised because he hadn't run all year. If he hadn't been running all year, or if he had been running all year, I would have easily said that he would have gotten the third place spot. But considering he hadn't run all year, I think that's impressive that Arian was able to come third. I'm still surprised at how Courtney Lindsay ran, but it is a lot of running. It's a lot of running. And he opened with a 19.6. He's a college kid. He may have, as he goes through his career, he'll be able to understand. What the heck just happened there? As he goes through his college career, he'll be able to understand how to hit the sweet spot as far as his peak. I've been using that word a lot today. The sweet spot. Might not have the cutter, but he's going to understand that. Right now, he may not understand it. He's probably just going. He looked a little flat. Coleman looked really good. Ended up coming fourth. And just missed out on a spot to run an individual event. Ran well, but missed out on a spot to run an individual event at the Olympics. But, and this is a big but, Okay. If someone wants to beat Noah in that 200, there's two ways. One way is more foolproof than the other. The first way, like I said, is going to be based off of luck. Is if Noah gets a lane draw from 4 or down, but that's out of anybody's control. Okay, that's the only. Miss Firehouse. No, I didn't see the interview of Noah. Give me a bit of details in the chat. That's one of the ways. If he gets lane 4 or down, you have a shot. Not that you're guaranteed, but you have a shot. Okay. The only other way that someone is going to beat Noah in that 200 is if they don't double. That's the only way, is if you don't double. That's not an easy decision to make. All right. Yo, big up the one named Bernard Williams. Okay. That's not an easy decision. Okay. But if you're talking about being a gold medalist against an athlete like that, that's the only way. If you watch that 200-meter final, yes, Noah won, but he looked tired. He looked very tired. He ran that exact same time in the semi. He wasn't even running that hard. But a 200 is 200, and accumulation of races is accumulation of races. And obviously, Noah's got a bunch of media stuff he's doing. He's got it's constant pressure on him all the time. He's doing a lot of things and flourishing. You have to use that to your advantage. You have to pick your spot. You have to be able to put all of your energy into one spot. And I think the only way, and the 100, I don't even think he's going to win the 100 at the Olympics. But if you're going to beat him in the 200, you can't be running that 100 as well. So there's guys like Tabogo. There's guys like Kenny. There's guys like Andre. There's guys like who else? I think those are like the three mains. I think those are like three mains. If they were to be like, you know what? I'm not going to run the 100. I'm going to run the 200. They will beat Noah in the 200. Though out of those three names, they will beat him. They will. The only person that has now I wouldn't even say that. I'm saying that would guarantee a gold. That would guarantee a gold. It's not that simple to do though, because the 100 is the glory event. And you heard me say Andre DeGrasse. I want to see Andre run the 100 because he got the bronze last time. I feel like he has a chance to win the gold. It's the big one. You want to give a shot at the big one. And I think that he's got an Olympic gold medal in the 200 already. He needs to be in that 100. So all that, don't worry. This is just for argument's sake. If you want to beat Noah in the 2, if you want to beat him in the 200, you can't be running the 100. He's vulnerable. But if you're doubling 2, you're not going to double better than him. It's going to be fresh legs against fresh legs, or it's going to be tired legs against tired legs. And based off of talent, he's going to beat you. He just has it in the 200 right now. The world record talks for that 200 can stop because he's not going to, it's not there right now. And the Olympics is going to be a lot of running. The pressure is going to be higher. If he's been dealing with a lot of pressure up to this point, it's only going to get higher by the time the Olympics come around. And it's going to be, I think he's going to be more focused on winning because that's the medal he wants. I think the 100-meter gold is obviously the coveted one, but I think he wants the 200 because of what Andre did to him at the last Olympics. Beat him. And he had lane 4. Like I said, that's not a comfortable lane for him. Unconventional. Noah's yet to run faster than 19.5 after running 3 rounds. Okay. There's that comment. I want to post that. Unconventional productions. Noah is yet to run faster than 19.5 after running 3 rounds of the 100 meters in the same champs. That's a big stat. That's a big stat. And for him to be able to run 19.5 after doing all that is impressive. There's not many athletes built like that anymore. Like Michael Johnson back in the day, what a lot of people don't understand is that when Michael Johnson ran 1932, he ran 4 rounds of the 400. This is back when it was 4 rounds. He ran 4 rounds of the 400 and it was his 4th round of the 200. So it was his 8th race and he ran 1932. Do you understand how fucking crazy that is? That is absolutely mad. So that has to come into account with what Michael Johnson did, because that is ridiculous. That's crazy. So these guys, even with 3 rounds of each and it being their 6th race, it's still really hard. It's extremely hard. And Noah's, he's got a cut from an old cloth as far as that's concerned. If he's able to run 19.5 in the last round, I give him a lot of credit for that. But I don't see anyone else doing that. If they're going to be a medal threat in 100 and coming back to beat him in the 2, look, man, those names, even though it's a tough decision, if they were to just focus on the 200, they could beat him. They could definitely beat him. And the funny thing is, even going back to the whole lane assignment thing, Noah didn't even run the 100 at the Olympics in 2021. He was only focusing on the 2. So that lane draw, he had some other stuff going on apparently, but I'm just saying the lane draw thing, he's not comfortable in there. But that aside, look, man, some tough decisions may need to be made if someone wants that gold in the 200. So Kenny, personally, up to this point hasn't had podium success in the 100 meters. Okay, Andre's the defending bronze medalist in the 100 meters. Okay, Tebogo is the defending silver medalist in the 100 meters. For both of those guys to walk away from the 100 meters would be a very difficult decision. Okay, Kenny hasn't done that. Kenny is hoping to get on the podium. I chose him to win the U.S. trials in the 100. He looks very good. But even though he looks really good, it's still early to say. I don't know if I'd be able to pick him as a podium favorite for the 100 right now. I don't think I'd be able to do that. So it may not be a bad idea for him to only focus on the 2. That may not be a bad idea. Out of the people that could do it, that could beat Noah that 200, he's the guy where it wouldn't be a bad idea to be, you know what, I made the team in the 100, but I want to focus on getting this gold in the 200. He would get the gold, in my opinion. He would beat Noah if he did that in that 200. Then if he did do that, then Christian would get an opportunity to run the 100, and that changes everything, because at the Olympics, if Christian was able to go, I think it would be, I don't know. I feel like even though he lost to Katie at the trials, at the Olympics, I'd be more inclined to go with Christian in the 100, only because the championship, he's proven himself. Championships in the 100, he's proven himself. It's just my take. Kenny can prove me wrong. Like I said, I love being proven wrong. It makes this shit more exciting for me. But y'all let me know what y'all think about that. That's the only way that Noah's going to lose that too, man. He's looking like he's just, and I feel like even in his mind, he knows that he owns it, and there's no one there for him in that. He's almost laughing at people that think they can challenge him. Okay, let me Let me break down some of these prediction picks that me and Trayvon had, because I do believe that mine was better. Who did I have in the women's 100? Women's 100, I had Sha'Carri Richardson, Mackenzie Long, and Melissa Jefferson. I had them in that order. Trayvon, I believe, had Sha'Carri Richardson. Trey, where you at? Tell me who you had. I know he didn't have Melissa, though. And I don't think he definitely didn't have TT. So, yeah, off the jump, I had, what about Tom? Yo, we've been talking about Thompson 977. We could talk about that a little bit more, too, because I've done some more thinking about that. I've seen a lot of replays, and it's just vicious. Hold on, let me get rid of this comment. In the men's 100, I had Kenny winning. I had Noah coming second. And I had Nike Foot Fred coming third, right? If he wore the Nikes, I said he was going to get on the podium. So I had all three picks. Who did Trayvon have? Trey, you in here? I'm tripping, man. This is bad preparation on my part. It was only the last second I wanted to talk about it. Either way, I know he didn't have all three of them. So I killed him at that too. The 200, women's 200, I had Gabby Thomas winning, Mackenzie Long coming second, Sha'Carri Richardson coming third. Trayvon had Mackenzie Long winning, Gabby coming second, and Abby Steiner coming third. So we each had 2 and 2. But I like to give myself the edge just because I feel like Abby wasn't a very good pick. My pick at least came fourth. I don't know, what did Abby come, 5th or 6th? Respect for Abby to coming back from her surgery, though. I didn't know she had surgery. Obviously, it's been a long road. She's not done. Abby will be back. It's just not there yet. And I do think we need to see a return of Nike Foot Abby. Personally, she was vicious too. Does Abby make the relay pool? I think that's a great question. Oh, that's on Instagram. I can't pin that. Does Abby make the relay pool? Chat, what do y'all think? Watching Let's Run folks lose their minds over Abby is funny to me. She's talented, but will get her doors blown off by the best East African. That's funny. Greatest double of all time was 400 meters, 4 rounds, 44, 13, and 143. Who's that? Brian Wellman. Dude, tell me who that is. That's some madness, yeah. So anyways, yeah, I get the edge on the 200 meter picks for women as well. And then for the men's 200, Trayvon had but I will give Trayvon respect for having Sha'Carri off of the podium. That was a gutsy pick. As far as the men's 200, I had Noah winning. Noah winning. I had Kenny second. I had Courtney Lindsay third. He ended up coming 5th. But just because I didn't know what to expect from Arian. And then Trayvon had the exact same pick. So we both had 2 picks. So overall, both of us did fairly well, but I had edge. But I mean, this is what I do. I have a really big discussion topic. What time are we at right now? I think I want to stay on for about 10, 20 more minutes. I have a really, really big discussion topic, okay? Trey, what do you mean that's cap, yo? My picks were better than yours, yo. Your picks weren't bad, but I'm saying better's better. It was better. You get another opportunity when we do these Olympics picks, yo. I need some time to think to process everything though first. But let me tell y'all, yo, my prediction show for the Olympics is gonna be something serious, yo. The guests I have in mind, I mean, it's only gonna come down to. Well, I don't know. I might have multiple guests. Who knows? You retired from Trayvon says he's retiring from the show because I murdered him in his picks. That doesn't mean you retired from the show. I retired you. I retired you with my picks. Step your game up, dog. Trey, Trey said he needs to focus on track. I hear you, dog. I hear you, man. I respect when you join in, man. I do. You got to focus, though. Hey, I get it. But you got to join the Olympics prediction show because that's going to be something serious. Anyways, I have a large discussion topic. Now, we were talking about last night I was talking about the GOAT in track and field. And basically what I gathered at the end of it was that Warren even said it. It's kind of broad to just call someone the GOAT in track and field because there's so many different events, so many different variables. I mean, it's obvious it's a cool discussion to have, but it's like so many different people are gonna have so many different opinions about so many different athletes and have so many different reasons. It's gonna be really hard to narrow it down. So I was thinking about it. I was like, the thing about track and field is that there's a strong men's side and there's a strong women's side. So with that being said, I feel like both sides would need to be credited individually, right? You can argue both against each other if you want, but technically it's two different worlds. It's two different worlds that are in the same universe of track and field, right? So I was thinking it could be more along the lines of right now, who's the queen of track and field and who's the king of track and field. And I feel like it should always be current. And you could argue, in other broader discussions, who is the king of track and field or who is the queen of track and field. I think that kind of broadens it. And also, especially now, it kind of each season, it allows you to kind of focus on a certain person and give a certain person their just due within an era. I shouldn't even say each year, within an era, right? Maybe each year too. But right now, who would you guys say is the queen of track and field? And who would you say is the king of track and field? We spoke about the queen a little while ago. It was a really good discussion, actually. And the more I thought about it, I was thinking about what comes into play when you're deciding who the queen is or the king is now that we're discussing the king. So performance is obviously a big thing. How good you are. The event that you do, so how competitive it is, and how prestigious the event is comes into play. Your popularity, so how people receive you, I think is a big factor, especially when notoriety is such a big, it's like a thing. It's more of a thing in track and field than it is in other sports because people depend on their notoriety for money. It's not always about results. And your abilities. Now, ability is a little bit different for performance because that comes down to how many things you can do. Some people can only do one event. Some people could do multiple events if they want to. Some people could be very, very strong threats in multiple events. I think that should be a factor as well. If I missed a factor, let me know. But I think I covered everything there. Out of all those different categories, that's how you select who you feel is the queen or the king. Now, for me right now, and this is going to be a lot of people may have issue with this, but that's the point of these discussions, right? The queen of track and field right now, I think would have to go to Sydney McLaughlin. Now, you could argue that her event is easy, right? And I will say there's a huge skill gap in the 400 hurdles right now on the men's and the women's side. Like the best have really separated themselves. And if you watch U.S. trials thus far, Sydney is like a whole hurdle ahead of a lot of people. It's mad, yo. And that's in the semis. First round is even crazier. So it's like she's almost too good for that event, seemingly. But we know that she could run a vicious 400. We know she could run a vicious 200 if she wants. We know she could be good at whatever she wants to be. And notoriety wise, you know what I'm saying? She's got a bunch of brand deals. She's known. The camera loves her. She's good on camera when she wants to be. I feel like she's holding back. Another discussion for another day. But I just feel like she's got, across the board in all the categories we're discussing, it would have to be Sydney. There's going to be a lot of arguments for Sha'Carri. I just feel like popularity-wise, Sha'Carri would definitely be ahead of her. She's in a much more competitive event. Absolutely. And has run very fast in that event. I just feel like popularity-wise, she hasn't really gone clear of Sydney. She's clear, but she hasn't like super clear. A lot of people from around the world and in many different demographics know Sydney. Same with Sha'Carri too, but I'm just saying they're a lot closer. I'd say they're closer there than they are abilities-wise. They're close popularity-wise with an edge to Sha'Carri, but yeah, wait, I said popularity, right? They're close popularity-wise with the edge to Sha'Carri, but abilities-wise, I think that Sydney's way beyond Sha'Carri because Sydney could do a lot of things extremely well, and that would be the tiebreaker. That'd be the tiebreaker. Her event, you can argue, isn't the greatest, but I mean, competitive wise, but she's breaking the world record multiple times. So that's another thing that she has. She has the world record that she's always a threat to constantly break. And people are even talking about how she could break the 400 meter record if she was to focus on that, or talking about how she could break the 200 meter record if she focused on that. And it's all believable if you're able to make people believe you can break other world records based off if you were to focus on it, and you already have world records. You're in another class, yo. So Sydney would have to be the queen, as far as I'm concerned. Y'all can let me know what y'all think of this. The chat's going crazy. I'm gonna have to go through the chat afterwards. Let me go through the chat before I go through the men. So, chat wise, we're saying you can't Lyles and Sha'Carri is what I don't know what that symbol means. Faith Kipiegon, strong argument there. I wonder if I'm just too ignorant as far as the distance to be able to have her as that. I think the distance is very foreign to me. Mind you, it's my picks. I'm not saying my picks are the best picks, but that would come into account as far as to me, you know, your event, like how prestigious your event is. I don't know if the world takes it's not. They do. The world does take the distance very seriously. It's not, obviously, maybe not can compare it to the 100, but it compares with the 4 hurdles. Sure, of course. But I don't know if Faith Kipiegon, as far as I know, is really a household name or is ever going to be a household name, at least on this side of the world. That's something I would take into account. But she got some world records. She's definitely doing her thing. She definitely has range because, as far as I know, she could run. She runs 10K, 10K, and 5K. Let me know in the chat if 10K, 5K, and she broke the world record in the mile, didn't she? Does she have world records in all of those things? Wait a second. Does she? Does she have a world record in the 5K, the mile, or the 1500? Let me know if she has a world record in both of those, because that kind of broadens the discussion. Um, and okay, so look at she 1500 meters, mile, 5K, eventually the 10K, and she ran 156 in the 800. Okay, that is very, 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 very impressive. That's a very strong argument. This is where the popularity comes into play, man. Because I just don't think that like she just doesn't connect. I don't think at this stage the way those other two do, the way Sha'Carri and Sydney do. I just don't think she does. Can we agree on that? Because if that's the only thing that's holding her back, if she does connect, she's gone clear. But I just don't think that she does. That's some amazing range, and she obviously has she has world records in the 1500. She has a world record in the mile, and she has a world record in the 5,000. Yo, that's mad. Faith Kipyegon has a strong argument, yo. She has a very strong argument. You can use popularity because people from those countries are not going to connect like people from the USA and Jamaica. Wait, Taika, are you saying you can't use popularity? That's a fair point. Well, no, I'm saying I understand your point. I do think you have to use popularity though, just because, like I said, your notoriety is a big deal as far as how you can survive in track and field. Brian Wellman says I'm not a distance fan. You're right. I'm not a huge distance fan. I'm becoming more of a distance fan. I'm trying to give it a fair shake. Oh, so guy has a world record in the 5,000. Okay, who told me that? Who told me that Faith had it? Respect for the correction, Daryl. I don't know. So she has the 1500 and the mile world records. That changes a lot, man. Don't be putting some phony shit in the chat and messing up what I got in my mind, yo. 5,000 world record guy, bro. Okay. There's an argument for her. I still give that to Sydney though. I just feel like the competitiveness in some of the events that she's showed range in, like she just beat Gabby Thomas in the 200 the other day. She ran 40, 48 in the 400 off of her second 400 ever. I don't know. I'm giving edge to City. That's my pick, yo. Y'all can say what y'all want. I gotta move on to the men before I get off here, man. We're coming up on it. All right, I'm gonna go for another 10 minutes. As far as the king right now in track and field, let me address the comment first. Gabby was loading in that 200. Come on, Anson. Come on, I don't want to hear that, man. Come on. You don't think Sydney's loading? So how is Gabby loading and Sydney's not? Look at, man, she beat her. And that's the US champion. The US champion lost to Sydney in the 200. That's what I saw with my own eyes. There's nothing else to do about that. Okay. The king of track and field right now. Oh, man. I think that the king of track and field right now is I'm usually pretty straight with stuff like this, yo. It's not that I'm. This has nothing to do with me being afraid of making a decision. It's really just very difficult for me to say because there's some big names that come into play. There's Ryan Krauser that comes into play. There's Mondo Duplantis. There's Noah Lyles. There's Grant Holloway. There's Karsten Warholm. Out of those names, the one that I would say is currently the king, though, I think you have to give it to Noah, man. I think you have to give it to Noah. Out of all the names I just said, he's the one person that isn't only doing one event. Mondo's only doing one event. Carson's only doing one event. Ryan Krauser's only doing one event. Grant's only doing one event. Noah he's the defending world champion in the 100 and the 200, and a prospect to be the 100 meters and 200 meters Olympic champion. When you're a prospect for that in itself, that's why people call Bolt the GOAT, because he was able to be ahead of the pack in the 100 and the 200. I mean, the only thing that you could argue against Noah is that there's some people that may not necessarily like him, but like a lot of people do. So it's not popularity does not only have to mean people like you, you know. Popularity has to do with the fact that people know you. He's very known. Very known. I got nothing against Noah at all. I like Noah. Some things are a bit confusing, but I like Noah. But popularity has nothing to do with whether people like you or not. This isn't a liking game. Do people know you? I spoke about this the other day. Do people know you? A lot of people know him, and I think he's gone clear of everybody as far as that's concerned too. All those names, it has to be Noah. I'd be very interested to see people argue against Noah. Mondo, look, man, Mondo's breaking the world record every day, and he's been dominant, but his event isn't competitive right now. He's clearly better than everybody else, and it's the only event that he does. And only in certain parts of the world do people really know who Mondo is. I had a post on that I put out the other day where I was talking about that. Another thing with Noah, who's the roof, that roof. Thank you for bringing up that point, because I forgot to talk about this other day. This cat went into the 60 as well. He almost became world champion in the 60 as well. So he's got range, man. He's got range. He got a silver medal, but he could have won gold. I mean, 6'4". It's got to be Noah, man. At this stage right now, Noah would be considered the king of track and field. I don't know how you argue against it. You guys can give me some, aside from personal feelings towards Noah, you guys can give me some arguments, but the other names I said that could be potential on those lists are only focused on one event, and they're not as popular as him. Some people don't like the word king. I'm just saying, actual random. You must have just came in here a second ago. I'm trying to decipher. We were talking about GOAT conversations and stuff like that, and I was saying in track and field, we got to be a little bit more specific because of how the sport is. There's men and women. At each era or each season, we have to define who the queen of track and field and the king of track and field is right now. That's how track and field is going to do it. That's how we separate ourselves. We talk about the king of track and field, the queen of track and field. The queen that I said was Sydney. The king that I said was Noah, based off of the attributes that I named. Now, if you guys can argue against it, drop the comments. Even after I put this live out, drop the comments. But that's where I stand as far as that's concerned, man. All right. I think that's enough for the night, man. Look, for all those Karsten picks that I heard, Karsten has done very well up to this point, but I don't know if he's going to get gold at the Olympics. I saw Rai Benjamin do his semifinal in the 4 hurdles yesterday. and even the heats. And I'm looking at this guy. I'm looking at his frame. I'm looking at his running style. I'm looking at his technique. I don't even understand how he's even losing to Karsten. That guy could be an amazing athlete. If he ran the Open 4, he'd be deadly. If he ran the Open 2, he'd be deadly. He's athletically just beyond Karsten. It's not even close. If he's able to put it together, I said this before, he's going to take that 400-meter hurdles world record to a totally different place. Totally different place. 45 low. Then you can laugh at me saying 44, but he has as much chance. I mean, everyone's talking about Sydney going 49 in the 4 hurdles. If Rye gets his shit together, he can go 44 high in the 4 hurdles. I really think he could, because he can run 43 in the Open 4. That guy is, specimen-wise, I'm looking at this guy, I'm like, this guy is a totally different place, man. A totally different place. See, this guy should not be losing to Karsten Warholm or Allison DeSantos. I probably like Allison DeSantos the best, just because I like him. He's cool and he's got guts, but I'm only going off what I know or what I see. I like that. But Rye, if we're just talking about what we see as far as what he could do, that guy is just, he's got more than enough tools, yo. Pause. I noticed that Rye was wearing his bib number at U.S. Championships. I guess the boycott ended there. They weren't fucking around with him. They said, no, Rye, you're wearing your bib number. There will be no boycotts here, or there'll be no Olympics. So he definitely had his bib number on there. Okay, check this out, man. This was a good day of track and field. It's been a good weekend. Championship weekend's been on point. Respect everyone that tuned in. Go ahead and hit the follow button here on my channel, as well as the Track Field Network. There's a lot of premium track field content coming out on the Track Field Network. My YouTube viewers, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Share the channel when you're on here. Share the lives. Heartbreak.run, use the discount code Sprint Culture, get 10% off of any of your running needs. Also, for y'all that are here, just understand, if you want to win some Sprint Culture paraphernalia, I had said if you DM the Track and Field Network with a voice note or a video of you rapping the Sprint Culture anthem from the intro song, you'll be entered in a draw for that. I'll make a formal announcement later on. If you want to get started early, go ahead. It'll either be a Sprint Culture hoodie or a Sprint Culture t-shirt. More likely it's going to be a hoodie, because you know I'm rocking hoodies all the time. And yeah, man, I'm more than likely going to be on tomorrow. We'll see what happens. But yeah, man, talk about it amongst your friends. Who's the king and who's the queen of track and field right now? Audrey Leduc, chances in Paris. I think she has a strong chance to make that final in the 100, not the 200. Strong chance to make the final in the 100. Another topic for another day. Canadian Championships results. We'll talk about that another day too. You know, I support my Canadians, man, but there's a lot to unpack there, and we're coming up on the end of the time, but you know I will unpack it. Big up all the Sprint Culture vultures. And just keep an eye out, man.
That's actually pretty cool.
And keep enjoying track and field. And every time you want to get up to speed, you already know Sprint Culture is where it's at. I'm out, yo.
Let's meet me on the track and see if you can beat me.
Peace.
We talking sprint culture, we talking track and field. When the gunshot lick it, give a man the chills. We talking speed demons like We talking sprint culture, we talking track and field. When the gunshot lick it, give a man the chills. We talking speed demons like Usain. The red track where a legend really makes their name. The US and Jamaica, they run the sprinting game. There's nothing like the Olympics for your claim to fame. When you break the world record, you show you ain't the same. From the men to the women, times are insane. Yeah, we talking sprint culture. We talking sprint culture. We talking sprint culture. We talking sprint culture.